Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, improv with Adam, usual disclaimer. What you have, there's Rob Cohen.
Hello, welcome to Cosa Nostra Radio. We are a poetry family located at allpoetry.com. And I'd like to thank Kevin and the crew for giving us a place to call home. We believe in freedom of speech. However, not all of the views and opinions on the show by the guests and poets are reflective of La Cosa Nostra ownership and management and are of their own free will. Enjoy this La Cosa Nostra program.
Host.
What's the, there's a word, Probst. That's what I'm thinking. Like, salute. But it's Russian, right? Probst. Isn't it? Or is that,
yeah. Could be Russian.
Or is that the Norse? thing? Scandinavian tropes. Ah, shit.
And you
I don't
have
know.
like an Italian propensia.
I thought salute.
Salute. As the host?
Salute.
Salute.
No, just like cheers, like a toast. You said host, and I thought
that
toast.
would be the toast. Yeah.
Because I'm a little bit toasted.
Burn up those microfields.
This is what it sounds like when the scrap. Bum, bum, dun. I like that song. That's like my favorite Prince song. That's funny that you played that.
Yeah, I just thought, what the hell? How to start this off here? It's any other way to introduce the show. But yeah, my own personal reflection is what you have of really torrid relationships. You know, everything's going back and forth on opposite ends while the doves are crying in the park. Adam?
Right. Doves being, the symbol of peace, almost like carries through all culture. Represented in that song metaphorically is the inability of the past. He couldn't find peace due to, as you said, a torrid relationship of his parents. He kind of overtly speaks on, and that leading to his inability to conjure peace in his day-to-day and adulthood due to, he feels,
you remember the Bible story of Noah after the flood. The first animal he saw was a dove.
Right. And right, I'm pretty sure that's right. And he sends out earth divers to find land. How many does he send? He sends 3.
Right?
What eventually brings? He eventually gets the sparrow brings the twig, right?
Sparrow brings the twig back to the earth, still there after the flood. I heard that the ark is supposed to be on Mount Ararat, but no one knows that for a fact.
Right, and they have like weird satellite photos that show there's something large and out of place up there. It's interesting. Judaism and that whole thing, the Judaism religions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, they have the fortunality of being religions based on historical events that actually are proven true time and time again. They find historic sites, mentioned that were thought to be fictional or aberrations or just pure whatever, make-believe, and they find them. They find evidence through all the time of this stuff. Doesn't make it, I feel, any more true, the overall belief system, but it does bring historic validity to the reality of their world and what was going on. Some would say that would anchor a bit in more around the truth that, oh, shit, these people are not lying about at least half of what they're talking about, right? So maybe their God is real. Maybe they were having these weird interactions with God, a God or some God, something beyond them, beyond the mortal. I don't know. I just think, how can we ever submit to a belief that one being, one way, one line, in a world of a multitude of infinite beliefs and energies that promote like this same thought can be wrong as compared to this one? It's got to be this. It's got to be this. Yeah. God came down and gave us 10 rules, and it's just. I don't want to put anybody's faith down or anything. I'm not trying to do that. My own personal belief system, it's all true, and I believe it's all valid, and it's all right and it's all wrong. Every religion in the world, they're all right and they're all wrong. I'm an agnostic, not to be confused with atheist or agnostic.
Yeah, I know. That's when you have belief there is a God, but it doesn't reflect on physically being the
any
world.
particular. Right.
I have that similar viewpoint. Yeah.
I find it fascinating. Don't get me wrong. I think, it's a bigger picture, though. It's got to be. You know what I mean? There's nothing that makes this Middle Eastern, conjured god any more valid than the Saddams or,
like decades of terrorism, so what's the person going to think anymore about that viewpoint of God?
Right, and, often Christianity gets sloughed off on being some sort of white religion when nobody in the Bible is white. It's not originally a Euro-Asian faith, so it's not a white religion. It's an Arab religion.
No, but that's like the terrifying part about the book, because like there's actual races of man that are completely wiped off the face of the earth that we never hear about or see about again, right in the first part of the Old Testament. And so it makes you wonder, well, if these types of civilizations were so short-lived, where do we stand on that note when it comes to finding our own personal salvation?
Well, I would say we're doing pretty well so far. We've endured quite a while, mankind on the whole. If we would consider ourselves one race, which is what I tend to lean towards, there's the testimony of our enduring is all around us, all over the world, right? In monuments of long, ancient cultures that seem advanced beyond their time, and are really. I mean, if you look at, philosophical ideas, engineering, everything you can imagine, every realm of the accomplished ability of these higher cultured societies, apart from maybe even lesser cultured at the time, are quite profoundly raised. I would say even comparable to ours. Just because our I don't see technology as a cornerstone to say, that makes us superior, because we can, we have these processes and further understanding of the sciences. But, I mean, I'd say it's harder to conceptualize the rudimentary aspects of science in all fields than to build upon them, right? To pull from the void and create brand new thought, or create. I mean, we still can't even replicate some of their building constructs. We can't even fathom how they did it. I mean, so it's interesting that they were able to accomplish these wonders, all over the world, and that says enough to me that even then, and here now we are, 10,000 years later, still kicking. And our history goes deeper and deeper. They keep digging up interesting things, finding out how we go further back than we thought. We're going further back than we thought. I mean, hell, an AI discovered that a man-made fire going back 1 million years. It was actually manipulated by man. Like, it had to be manipulated to be made. It wasn't like, a fucking bolt of lightning, cave dweller, gets a branch and runs with it. It was like, man actually took flint and stone and created a fire. This AI discovered it 1 million years old. Now that blows out of the water any archaeological fucking speculation, not even thought of or comprehended yet. And I don't doubt it. I don't doubt man is more knowledgeable and ancient than we've ever thought. Anyhow, that's my own.
Yeah, this million-year fire, I didn't hear about that story, but, it kind of is that very spark, I would think, of what you have, the entire history of man, how that fire doesn't die.
That's a lovely idea. So Probst is German, by the way. I don't know. I was on a whole other thing for Cheers. Prost. Yeah. Anyhow, so the idea of, I like the idea of Olympian fire and the theft of it. There's something profound in that metaphorically, and that's what I think the Greeks were going for throughout that whole, many of their sagas and stories were all just metaphor for human experience in life, which it could be debatable, because they did create whole religions out of these archetype figures. So it's not without believing that they held foundations of truth to these gods of theirs. But the Prometheus,
which is really
Prometheus.
The irony, because
right.
Even if this phenomenon was supernatural, what there is of the ancient gods, the very fact that the majority chooses no longer to believe in them, we do not know of their existence by any choice or open means of observation to state, what they conceded was in reality a scientific fact instead of a religious beliefs. Yeah.
Right. It wouldn't even have been thought of in that nature. It would just been, this is it. This is the way it is. Funny how that, you're right. It's kind of, and now it's dead. It's as lost as their culture. And, all around the world, right? All around the world, the same song. Egyptians, I'd say the oldest and longest lasting ancient faith that has endured of that nature in the pantheon would be probably Hinduism. Wow, that's pretty profound that they've stood that test of time. That religion is still prominent, being a huge pantheon of wondrous and bigger. I would say bigger than gods. It's fantastical, the stories and beliefs they have in these supernatural beings.
Yeah. That's on Vishnu, Shiva, and what you have, Brahman.
Brahman, yeah. It's the
right.
It's
in the Hegelian sense of philosophy, he narrows it down that social culture really developed a hierarchy from those beliefs into different forms of government.
Really? Where was that? Who was that philosopher?
Hegel.
Where was he? Hegel. Where was he? Where'd he come
German,
from?
Yeah.
German philosopher. German. What era?
It's around the 1800s.
Okay.
Hegel.
Shit.
So he tries to conceptualize the theory that it all becomes one world. You have just two different faiths, Eastern Occidental and then Western philosophy. And that's kind of the power struggle which goes on now politically.
Yeah, it's weird. Politics almost, this might not be what you were meaning, but it's totally where I'm going. Politics is like a religion all of its own now, isn't it?
Yeah. What there is of those who become so codependent on the government, they may as well be their own form of a higher authority like God. But, that argument becomes so deep that no one wants to be so controlled by their own laws that one wonders if these individuals are possibly obsessed to the point of radicalism.
Yeah, I would say it's
in other countries where you have to submit or there's no other choice, it oppressed somehow through that mean of government. Why they play the role of God.
Right. And that's, and still, even of that, we already buck against control from our God that we choose to fall beneath, to fall in step with or in line to or submit to. Yet, man will always buck back regardless. It could be, so that it's still right. Yeah, so it's, politics being the new kind of face or a head of a religious order of a sort. It kind of makes sense because, people will be like, okay, I choose to live under this government, But I'm still going to fight against it. I'm still not going to submit completely. I'm not going to agree with what they're telling me. By all means, that's the way it should be. But if you took it to that religious level, it's just the same. People in their religious beliefs is the same thing. Man just has this urge to fight against whatever it is.
Yes, all forms of tyranny and ever being dominated. There's the part of man which does not choose to be conquered, but to have equal terms with its own form of,
right.
regulations. Yeah.
What is that? What is that in our nature? I mean, it's almost
that nature. It's a kind of pride, and yet that's only in the role, I would say, of submissive and the dominant. And then in another form, you have something more inspirational, which seeks out ideals and principles of which we all can live and govern by, like democracy. So it's known as the national spirit, what exists within society of man that does not always submit to his own proper laws because he knows there is a better way for us to live here. National spirit.
Eloquently said. I'm glad you brought the other side of that coin up. You know, it's true. For all of what man is or slants one way, he also is equally slanting the other, leaning the other. We are, and maybe I think that's just because we are a higher consciousness being, for what we are. It's just the duality of the universe. All things, all life, everything has that duality. It's, I think, a fundamental law of nature, duality. It's like you cannot have one without the other. It's just a necessity for all that there is. So for all that want to submit, there will be equally all that want to not submit, regardless. And everything else.
Ironically, this whole discussion, it takes me back to, have you seen the video by Incubus on megalomania?
Oh, no, but I remember that song.
Right.
We have a clip.
We have a clip of Elvis,
it. Play it in the studio.
Step down. Media, step down.
Right. Now, what was he talking about in that song? It was like the media, right?
It's on how you have everything, what there is of the postmodern world coming from World War II. And so the system has slowly been collapsing since then, even finding a greater peace because there's not that one rule of government that says it's literally our God. So what you have are your politicians, they're megalomaniacs, they're sociopaths. They're saying, I rule over you just like God would, or even Adolf Hitler. But in reality, there's a distorted there because you have to have your proper grounds of existence and use of power.
So there's this. So I was just watching this show, House of the Dragon, and in it, the end. I don't want to ruin anything, a spoiler, but this prostitute, let's call her maybe a madam of sorts, holds a card, a good card. Let's say an ace in her hand, up her sleeve. And she freely gives it in exchange for something to a powerful person. And in this thought, she says, just know, kings only have the power that we allow them to. And it was a profound thought. I was like, it's so right there. It's obvious. It's in front of us. And we don't really acknowledge that there is no power but what we give as a society to our rulers or leaders. That is it, period. They don't have it if we don't let them have it. Ultimately, that is the human truth, because humans will fight tooth and nail to not be oppressed. I mean, I'm sure somewhere, there's degrees of homeostasis we find. I think, but the natural, in general, let's not think of the 5 or 10% where that's not necessarily always true. Think of the majority of this. Humans will not, we give our power freely to let those rule. They have to remember that shit. I mean, they really. I mean, it should be like a mantra. Rulers tell themselves to stay humble. That I did not earn this. Really, I did not take this. I did not claim this. This is not mine. This is an occupancy I hold for the greater good of others. That is given to me willingly and freely. And not to take. That megalomania standpoint is just atrocious. It's crazy because their politicians do seem to.
No, yeah, I know, but this guy, was an incubus. This is a little known fact about him, Brandon Boyd. He actually had a master's degree in Harvard before forming that alternative rock band, and so there's people who claim it's like, a thoroughly thought out way of perceiving modern day politics.
It's brilliant. Yeah, I didn't know that about him. All I knew was a couple of songs were fucking pretty cool. I feel like Pardon Me still holds up. Megalovania was like that Megalomaniac song or whatever the hell it was called. Razz, what was it?
Yeah, you're no help.
What was the name of it?
Jesus.
Was it? Yeah, that was the song. That was like the last song I really heard that that stuck. That like I recognized from the radio them and gave a shit about. After that, I really just tuned them out.
It all came and went. By 2010, there was just new acts there in the alternative rock scene and indie rock groups, sub-genres. We have a call in the studio. Let's see who's there on the line. Hello?
What's up, guys? It's Konrad, or Connor, sorry. So you see
Con. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me okay? I have different headphones on tonight.
We've been talking a little bit about world religion and politics. What's your take on any of this that your take on, let's say,
I just tuned in. I haven't been listening.
Well, believe it or not, it all started from a conversation based off the Prince song. This is Dove's Cry. When Doves Cry. Can you believe it?
Oh, okay. Very cool.
And we arrived here. We arrived circling back to a band, Incubus, who apparently, Razz was informing me, the singer had a master's degree from Harvard and wrote that song. Maybe you remember. What was it called, Razz?
Megalomaniac.
Remember that song? It was about, what was that, 2000?
Brandon Boyd? He has a master's degree?
So I've been told.
Incubus songwriter, Brandon Boyd.
Wow.
And like cool. The song is just, so he was telling me the song's kind of about, postmodern politics and these guys thinking they're God, which we're already kind of were discussing that politics seems to wiggle its way in as a new, almost religious storehouse of sorts. It's almost elevated to this degree, and it's bonkos.
It is. It's up there with like, it's almost like watching politics. At least with the news cycle, I feel like watching politics is the same as watching football, man. It's just
right.
Like,
it's entertainment.
It's crazy.
It's the Coliseum.
Yeah, it's like a reality-based TV show since Donald Trump.
It's the fucking Coliseum.
Between ESPN and CNN and Fox, man, you get enough action, I guess.
Right. They put that much excitement into work. Even when it comes to the scores of the percentages, it's that level of intensity what you get back from the screen.
Yeah, we're all we're stat padding and number crunching. It's crazy.
Right. And a funny thing about statistics is it's the only form of math virally riddled in untruths. It's lies. Statistics are lies. I had a statistician, educated statistician, teach me advanced algebra my freshman year in high school, and informed me that statistics are bullshit. Never believe them. It's the only form of math you can literally bend to make your point. You can bend and manipulate the numbers to get what you want across. And I was like, wow, that's wild. So I've never trusted like, 5%, blah, 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 this. Yeah, and then there's, like, all these rooms for error and margin that are, like, so it makes it just an untruth. But it's fast food. It's, it's a bedazzling thing. We like that. We like to have, like, some sort of easy to grasp understanding of a truth, though it's not a truth. It's weird. And I think that comes to the whole idea. Razz and I were kind of talking about, like, we want to believe the lies. We want to be controlled, but we also don't want to be controlled.
Well, I think there's like a certain level of like believing the lies, right? Like it makes your life easier.
Easy,
in my opinion.
Easy, right?
Right.
100%. It does.
It's
wants
just
to fucking
like
struggle.
okay,
We're in the fucking we're in the hamster wheel. We're in the hamster wheel.
Yeah, it's like, all right, if that's how it is, that's how it is.
Right. Just make it easy for us, and but eventually, there's a breaking point. There always is that, right? Anyway, you called. I'm so happy you called, Connor. You have a piece you would like to share yet? Do you know what you might want to share?
I didn't come with a piece. I can look for one.
Yeah, just
give me a moment.
Whatever tickles the fancy. Razz.
I don't know. Y'all in the mood for anything?
So you want to go around and do a couple of poems, Adam? Yeah, I can do one for you.
I have one also ready to do from P.M. Murphy. He gave me permission to share a piece of his. Whenever Connor is sure what he wants to share, we'll start with him. We'll go to P.M. Murphy. We'll go to you, Razz.
You can do P.M. Murphy.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you can give me time to
I'm going to need a little bit of...
Razz, I conceptualize a poetic thought or line. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Razz and Connor, of course, feel free to weigh in on it, whatever. It's just, I don't know. It came to my mind. I thought in my sipping of coffee and whiskey, occupying spaces void of air does not make you oxygen. Occupying spaces void of air does not make you oxygen. I love it. I don't know. I think sometimes my mind is great and other times it's just a train wreck. But I thought it was a great line.
If you're satisfied with the piece and that's honestly what you wanted to express, then it's likely a valid statement.
Right. Yeah. It is what it is. Right. I'm happy with it, so that's all that matters. That's art too, right? As long as we're happy with it. Why the hell not? What does it make you think of, Razz?
How the mind goes without oxygen, unlike the brain, and still, it notices on a kind of psychological level that the chemicals are physical, but the mind is like impenetrable to the very forces of which we're all in some shape or form manipulated or trying to withstand.
Indeed. That is a deep old dive. Wow, all right. Cool, man. Yeah, the thought was, just because, it came from this whole idea that just because something is heralded as great doesn't necessarily mean it's great if it's only there because nothing else was. So, just because you're there doesn't mean anything if there was nothing else to be. And the idea, that could be taken, I guess it's kind of nihilistic. Sure. Even the human experience, being a human being. Are we so great? We're just here. Or causality, and we're here. Are we great? No, not really. We should be humble and realize, we're just occupying a space. We aren't here because we are great. We're here because there was nothing else. Anyhow. Connor, my guy, did you decide on a piece yet?
Well, I have one of the comments already. Still looking
right
comment,
on.
or you have to keep?
Sounds like he was mulling it over still.
Now.
Yeah, he was still mulling it over. Well, go ahead, Razz. Just post it on the board.
Yeah. No, I'm going to share something out of my own personal notebook. I don't intend to actually be there on the site. So here we go. This is called Seasonal Fall. I want to be myself again. Touching you is breaking glass on rubbing palms. RX samples, April raining sunshine, crimson clover storm, best wishes liquored, drug mafia, candy testing, compliant misusage, biological satisfaction, prearranged rearrangement, ruby diamond sparkling bottled cork, front, bland sadness, the recitation to post-tense experience, love, rockabye cradle on the old oak bough, creaking and rickety spit, churning almond pitter-patter. Of him mentioned by the Western lyrical ballad, the Eastern scorched land, dark and flagrating, frosty and retortion, all holiday covert discussions, the ancestral worship, embodied as celebrating death, mnemonic devices adhering stirred memories and dying, exceeding the physical decomposum for the specific numbers on the stereo band, dutiful noted, think AM10, FM3, faces in the gray tinted mirrors, fog, an immaculate collection of Raphael's Madonna, Mr. Dog, Mrs. Nuts, external influence, receptacle precepts. I can't feel it anymore. Disinherent, gesticulating, the seasonal fall, lift up the mouthpiece, receiver calling for hope. No one was really on the phone. Tolerance brings us closer. Written permission brings us closer. Are we there yet? And peace.
Wow.
That was
Seasonal fall.
Seasonal fall. I felt like that was more like an experience. Like the way it was read and delivered to, an experience of like unbroken fall.
When you read it.
What's up? What was that?
I was saying, as Razz was reading it, it felt very like immersive, you know, like I don't have the text in front of me, but you know, broken glass on loving palms. I love that line. So beautiful.
Yeah, right from the jump. That's what stuck in me.
Yeah, man.
I felt like it set the stage. It set the stage for the entire piece, which I felt was "We want what hurts us." That was like that you painted.
Those are fine,
strong.
gentlemen, but I do not care to share my hidden intent with the entire piece.
All right, that's fair. But that's what I got in that. I felt, you know, it brought me to a place of falling and reaching, and like reaching for all the things that just don't help. They certainly hinder. You want them to help, and maybe they do, but they don't. And that's kind of like what I was pulling from that as you were reading it. I liked it a lot, though. I liked the short lines. It kind of added to that whole falling feeling and clasping, you know, trying to grasp for things. I don't know. It really did do like a creative feeling, you know, of that for me at least. I don't know. You know, I like when pieces can take me out of my reality or my mind and actually conjure a physical effect like that. That was cool. It was a good piece, Razz. From the private diary, the private notes, off-site. Good stuff, man.
Yeah. How'd you know? I have a couple in there, which is just like journal entries on psychology.
Oh, you're a well-studied man. You and you run the gamut of areas of thought. There's nothing you don't talk about, and there's nothing you don't know something about. It's admirable, man. I'm always in awe of your, intellect, and I can't stand to it. I just do the best I can with one of the faculties I have to try to unpack your writing and poetry and thought. I am in awe.
Yeah.
Inspired.
It's mostly on something which you want to have contact with, but it goes on eluding you. That kind of feeling when you're inside your own senses, and yet you can't get out of that mental state to actually reach what you want to touch. It's all in there, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you kind of conjure that feeling too. I guess kind of why I felt the falling, reaching, stumbling, not quite grasping emotion that I was feeling when you're reading it. Good stuff. I want to write a postmodern poem in your stylization, and I'm gonna call it Razz, a Razz.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be like my tribute.
I think you could try it out, but you'll have to look at the samples at least, right?
I'll have to read a lot of your work to get the exact stylization. I think I could mock it, but I want to do it right. If I'm gonna
more
mock,
than likely, because if there's any style, then of course it can be imitated. That's how we have art.
And isn't that the greatest
Even
form
Plato,
of flattery? They say
ancient Greek society, they didn't think of it all that different. That there's the one form, and then from there it's imitated to create greater works.
I doubt mine will be anywhere along. Anyhow, it's just a future project. It's on my mind now. It's bubbling. It's a sarcoma. I don't know what the fuck. I don't remember what the fuck that is exactly. I'm thinking of the brain, the blood clot that floats upon the outer layer of the brain. What is that called? Never mind. Connor, have you mold yourself into a piece yet?
I haven't become a brain
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
You mean like the hippocatamma or the frontal lobe?
Let me Google it. Go ahead. If you can post it on the board, Connor.
That's what I thought you meant.
What is it? What did you say?
I was saying it sounds like a thrombosis.
Thrombosa?
All right.
Embolism.
You said I can just post it?
I guess embolism.
Brings on a good heart.
Yeah, just post it on the board, Connor, and then feel free to read whenever you're ready.
All right. This is just a short one. It's called Thorns and Things.
Ooh, I know this one.
How do I grow into this garden of yours? These roots of mine have brought nothing but weeds. They just take and they eat. Overgrown in the plot they were planted, stealing light from the neighbors. The sea is not meant for me, but I still make a baptism of her every day I wade out into you. So I guess we should burn the bushes, cast the ashes into the ocean. The salt is the only thing I can think of to prevent all the thorns. End peace.
Razz, can you...
Yeah. Are you going to comment first, Adam?
No, go ahead.
Well, here I'm sensing a kind of reaping. You have the one experience, and now it's all coming together into a fixed, learned kind of knowledge. So you start off at the beginning, what there is of, I would say, a field that had to be planted, and at the end the corn grows because you've reached that culmination point
of learning what you had to, and now knowing it for a fact.
Yeah, I could see that. I see that to a degree. The reaping, really. I feel like there's a stubbornness to this, an unrelenting, a trial by error that you learn through effing up life and whatever it may be. And the stubbornness is that I'm going to still do what I want to do. I'm just going to do these other things I've learned to help ease that situation I'm trying to reap from the things that aren't always the best for me. Yeah, I kind of got that feeling overall from it. I love it, though. I love just your imagery throughout is great. The sea is not meant for me.
Yeah, man.
But I still make a baptism of her. Every day I wade out into you.
Yeah, appreciate that, guys.
It's a good one.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed
my comment on it was just like, give me more stanzas. I remember really liking this. I remember the first time I read it, I was really sucked in, and I just wanted more. And that's good. I think sometimes it's good for a poem to kind of leave that, and say what it, that moment that needs to be said, and readers, we can be selfish.
It's the hard part, right? It's like saying the moment, and then how do you word the time before and the time after of it, I guess. Like, it is short, and I wish it was longer, but I don't even know what to say,
Right. You make a strong. It's just selfish reader thing.
I understand what Adam's saying. I read Konreg's work, and I want to see more of his work. He's a pretty good poet.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, man.
And you stand differently. You read different. You have a voice, this distinctive voice, separate, which is what I appreciate of it. I always have. I noticed it. And then there's always this damn, no, and I mean it in the best sense, damn twinge of romanticism in you. You could even be talking about just nothing. Like, I don't mean nothing, but, you're going to romanticize it a bit, which is awesome. I love it. I would say you probably are a romantic poet, just because that seems to creep its way into anything you write. This bit of
it's like annoying at times.
Right. I think we kind of talked about that.
It's like I really, there's times where I'm just like, I really just want to like get the blood and guts out, and it's difficult because I always find my way back to these like, I don't know, these like go-to images in my head, and it's like a rut sometimes for me, but I feel like my voice is strong there too, though. So like you know what I mean? Like I don't want to.
You mean like your own inner archaic type of system?
Yeah, I guess. I'm not really sure, man. I just kind of put it out there.
Talk about Jung here, like the archaic type set. It sounds like what you're going through are like ideas which are fundamentally there. Why you turn back to them, right?
And he feels like they're a bit of though in that same turn they're his rut, but they're his gold. They're like what matters and fulfills his writing, but they're the same turn. What he feels is maybe a drag upon it, which isn't true, but he's satisfied, which is good. Like he says, that's where his voice is. And that's what you want to, like, I'll say leaning towards, leaning towards that from where you are right now in your writing career. Lean into your strengths,
Yeah.
It's always fun to try to challenge yourself, too. It's always good to, like, some things I've written recently have gotten called dumpster poetry, which I love. Wouldn't you agree? Connor, you read one of them recently.
It's nice because it's got this like this like continuation of thought you have going. It's just kind of like you're letting it just start and then just grow and grow and grow. And I really enjoy that with it. I wouldn't call it dumpster poetry. I think that's a little harsh imagery.
Wasn't that pre-stream consciousness before it became?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. No,
let
I
me
think,
read.
I think
shit. Let me share the one you commented on, Connor, and
Yeah.
Isn't dumpster another word for trash?
Hey, yeah, trash.
What's
up?
No,
we don't call that anymore. We call it reconverted energy particles.
Yeah, next show is dumpster fire
Recycled.
poetry.
Recycled. Who's that?
Konreg.
I'm hearing voices, man. The voices in my head won't shut up. What's up?
Hey, man.
All you need is love.
It's actually suicide for a while.
Yeah. So Rack had me watch the Yellow Submarine movie for the first time in my life today.
Oh, no.
Trying to interpret that psychedelia into, like, it was fun. I enjoyed trying to, I came up with this whole concept that the Yellow Submarine is the vessel of fate or destiny that we travel within. It was wild. I really enjoyed, making sense of it for me. That was a wild movie.
Yeah, man, please listen.
It was a bootleg version though, so like my audio was like 2 minutes ahead of the video. It sucked. Yeah, that sucked. But you couldn't really tell. Like you could and you couldn't. One day, when I find it on a streaming service that's actually hosting it properly, I will watch it in its truth. All right. Until then, fellas, let's go down the heart chute.
Let's do it.
I wrote this. Yeah, let's do it. Wrote this yesterday. And it's part of my series, Dumpster Poetry. Heart chute. Love is an outhouse. A snot-damp, lean-to used kerchief. Blue tarp pinhole prick door. Bungeed in some half-assed care. And no one cleans the latrine. It floods and carries tapeworms undulating with dime store pornography. In the refuge of anonymity, maggots washing in the basins by the creek the kids like to fish. Swells when the dishwater rain barrels down, swamping the shag carpet interior, where wild shrooms are moss-grown fungi, homes to the snail and slugs of one, slipping tongues through the toenails. Peepholes to see through or receive through in their glory, and the steam is hot stench. The ballet of flies is a smattering of tingle, correlating with the bug zapper light show. Reading the obituary of a friend-zoned sucker and eating a TV dinner colder than revenge, where plastered stank walls are grisly, murder headlines papier-mâché with shot spit wads of chewed-up lipstick letters, salt and blood-soaked pulp. Rinds of care peeled and tossed away just to keep the stink at bay. A filthy failing. Rubbish and clumsy written love notes of fuck off. Film caked on the condom and tampon dispensers. Out-of-service coin-operated sundries. Dry heaved in chunks of vomit and mouthwash wishes. Coagulating on a welcome mat, which reads, vacancy. End peace.
I don't know why you call that dumpster.
Someone had said that into one of my other pieces. So
yeah, I think of it as graphology, but you have the right sense of postmodernism. This is all about what we have going here, becoming socially and ecologically sick. What I'm seeing of the images, and that last part. It's what brings it home. After all the vomiting, on top of what you have of the carnival boardwalks, then you get to your house and it's really for sale, non-vacant.
It's a
TV dinner colder than revenge, huh?
Yeah, TV dinners.
Man.
It's bitter in this heart. Love will do that to you. And all the shit you go through dealing with it.
No. You have a response to this?
Yeah, what'd you think, Rick?
He just called on Connor, dude. Let him.
Oh, I can tell.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's dumpster poetry at all. I mean, I read it and I commented on it earlier, and it's like, you're talking about love, and it's an ugly thing, man. It's an ugly, beautiful thing. And I think just from like a literary perspective, the vocabulary you use is very, like the imagery is a lot of bodily fluids. It's it paints a very, like I would use the word pungent. It like tickles the senses. All these images you have going on here, but I don't know. I really do enjoy it, and like I said, it's like you have this flow of consciousness through it, which I think is really cool. And it is like these little short pictures that fly through your head as you read it, and I really enjoyed it personally. I mean, it's a very difficult subject to write about, I think, and using the vocabulary that you are using is incredible, because I don't know how you could even relate it to those things. But you do it in a way that it makes sense, and it flows. And I think that's really nice. As like just from a reading perspective, it's beautiful.
Oh man!
But it's not dumpster poetry. So don't call it that.
I'm gonna change my
recycling
my AP name to dumpster poetry. Adams is dead, and it will forever be known as dumpster poetry. All right, Rack.
I'm not familiar with that term dumpster. It's got a negative connotation for me, which is why I'm ragging on it. But as far as the content and the poetry and the subject, it's you did a great job with that. And love and dumpster, they kind of have a natural affinity, I think. That expression, unfortunately, it's too literal to be elegant, but, how many of us have been dumped? So, yeah, that's like the perfect subject for something that has been deemed dumpster poetry. But, yeah, I mean, dumped on, dumped, that idea fits, and you've got a lot of the idea of it. I think it's somewhat Bukowski inspired. It's gritty, it's raw, it's relatable.
Thanks. And you're not wrong. Yeah, I've been reading some Bukowski. He's been inspiring me lately, as of late. I like where his mind is. I feel like he's an everyday. I think I took it to my own personal different level, but still conjuring that spirit of the everyday man's poetry. And I took it through that, so if you think of and no one cleans the fucking latrine. Who wants to do that, right? No one wants to go clean that thing out. You gotta fucking get in there. I'm thinking gritty. I'm thinking it's a trench, Doug, and you gotta get it out yourself, and it's not good. It's not,
What was your first line though?
Love is an outhouse.
So love just claimed the latrine then.
It's part of what's in there, all right? But you know what? The funny thing is,
the latrine its own kind of trench.
Right.
In a literal sense. But
kind
the
of work
latrine
with
is
that, maybe. Yeah, for the rest of what you got going with the dumpster poetry.
Yeah, dumpster poetry, dumpster poetry, dumpster poetry.
Piss on piss biological warfare. And one that had a flush.
Tuesday night dumpster
Thanks,
poetry.
Rock and roll has Adam Levine. We've got Adam Latrine. There's your new AP name. There's your new AP name, Adam Latrine.
Holy smokes. that.
No, we don't mention that other name, Levine, because, you know, they're unfaithful to the wife.
Adam Latrine. That's a shitty thing to call you, isn't it?
I'm about as faithful as the flush.
That's the flush.
You want regular pumping water in your house.
Well, you don't always get that. Sometimes it's just a long drop. All right. So, P.M. Murphy has given me permission to read one of his poems. He requested I read his poem, a new thing he wrote a day ago called Blue. So here we go, P.M. Murphy. This is Blue. There's a counter. It fills the firm air. And in a brisk night it dances. It dances. I allow the dance, and within each step I, too, know why I feel so alone. It doesn't allow me to suffocate, though. It doesn't allow the oxygen to push my warm body, and not quite tainting in blue hues and obscure views, not quite leaving me empty-handed for distant reasons, not quite letting me surmise and escape, and though I escape, I look for another morning after with oscillating views of cannabis dragged down to earth dancing in an atmosphere of a blue sky and in this rain, and look up and part my eyes around the sun that hides behind a painted cloud. I hide my eyes in front of this painted cloud and breathe in those toxins. I breathe in life. A simple parting goodbye of orange color, a blue hue entangles me, and soon I burst and bubble, allowing cadence. But simply then, and only then, do I know that cadence is beautiful. I articulate a goodbye, and with my hands I part the blue clouds, those painted marquees of a falling star on an outer equator of distraught ideas, looking to keep me timid and ever looming around the notion of a falling star and brighter tomorrow. Tomorrow comes. It comes, and my, does it come fast. It doesn't sit around letting blue be blue, and no, it doesn't care about my orange thoughts. It's only here because it's forced its way into another morn, another falling habit, another reason to look beyond a flame that burns the sky, tainting the blue and tainting the water that dances around each and every looked after fabric of another mission sent out from a nearby general. And this general understands pain. He sees it and he doesn't care. It's blue. We are blue. Life is blue. Everything around us always succumbs to the blue. The echoed fragrance of lost oxygen and forever closed eyelids, forever succumbing to that drastically shut cadence, that never-ending ellipsis, that literary device we ask too often to stop presenting itself like purple. We can't be purple. We have to be blue. And peace. Thoughts, Rec.
I'm blue, da-da-dee. I couldn't help it. Oh, no. I like the piece. I do. I hate that it reminds me of that damn song, but yeah, I'd rather think of Patrick's poem. I enjoyed it. I mean, there's not much more I could say about it. My mind totally went off the rails when he did the blue. I lost everything that I liked from the beginning of it when he did that, and that's just my OCD brain. It's not his fault. If I could see, I'd be able to quote it and be like, oh yeah, there was this and that, and there was definitely quite a few things that he said before that point that I liked because I was enjoying it. It's that song I have a problem with. Thank you, Patrick.
All right. Connor, what do you think of Blue by P.M. Murphy?
I think there's a lot to unpack here. I mean, me personally, when I was reading it, I'm like equating it to the feeling of being blue, like depression, and I allow the dance, and within each step I tune out why I feel so alone. It doesn't allow me to suffocate, though. It doesn't allow the oxygen to push my warm body and not quite tainting in blue hues and obscure views. It has a hold on you, but it doesn't kill you. It lets you keep going, and you're waiting on the next day to come, and the days are going to come. They're going to keep moving along, but you're going to be stuck in that mourning and that that state you're in. And I think he talks about that too when you're talking about a general. He understands pain and sees it, and he doesn't care. It's blue, right? It is what it is. The life keeps going on, man. But you can get stuck in a rut, and it's really hard to get out of. At least that's what I took from it. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, PM Murphy. I thought it was a really beautiful piece.
Right, I hear you there. I'm sure you appreciate the comments. Rez, what do you think of Blue?
Well, I really like the ending when it's like, since this poet has fundamentally seen that the color blue is kind of like the whole peak of actually knowing compared to an opposite extreme red. Then he points out there's no purple, there's no combining the blue and the red. It has to be this way when you're specifically that denomination, the blue.
Yeah. Right.
Well, there's also something brilliant about that too, because when you talk about purple prose, he brings that thought into mind, and that's genius to hint at that.
That is great that you picked that out, Rack. That's true. Like purple prose, the overly deliberately floral writing style. Purple prose, as I understand it, utilizing many, if not all, as many devices and your ability, your whole repertoire, and very elegant and flowery writing. Is my understanding of purple prose. Some, we may have different views here on what that means. Yeah, and then, well, we can't be purple. It's like a fiction. We can write it the way we want it to be. We can write our story and make it as pretty as we can make it. But in the end, it's just blue. And I think, Connor really nailed it. I was along the same lines as that. Like, this is somebody talking about, in a manner, depression. And then, that old experienced person being the general in this case in the end here, saying, this is the way it is, man. This is, you're sad. This is it. We're all sad. That's just what sadness is. You got to carry on because it's going to carry on without you. Haven't you realized that yet? And then the comeback to the whole but that floating, that in between, and the thought that just bounces or levitates there. And I want to be purple. I want to be that. And it's like, well, be thankful for that, but that's not real life. Depression is real. I mean, blue is real. I don't know. It's just there is a lot here. You guys are all talking. It's a great new piece from Patrick, old PM Murphy, out there in Bakersfield. I don't know. I feel like that needs a shout out. Which I don't know. California. Old
Shout
Cali. Going back to Cali.
Don't start that again.
If Razz could do me the injustice, indulge me, and play Booze Going Back to Cali, since I have no access to the studio right now, otherwise I would do that immediately.
Yeah, you want to play that song, Going Back to Cali? I'll go look for it, boy.
Please, my dear friend Razz. Rack, is there anything, have you written something or a piece come to mind just from the vibe of the show so far you would like to?
No, I don't. I got nothing so far.
Can I choose something maybe, and see if we have it in the All right, cool. I mean, as long as you're good with it and all that jazz, right on. And Connor,
all right, you want to hear it right now? Who's doing Cali for you?
Just one sec. And Connor, if you want to think of a second piece to read, while we hear Going Back to Cali, please mull it over.
All right, I will check the archive for you.
All right, let's hear Boo's number one single,
check.
Summer Sensation, Soundtrack of Our Lives. Hit it. DJ
Billboard
Ray.
100.
I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I don't think so. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I don't think so. Going back to Cali. Styling, profiling, growling and smiling, while in the sun. The top is down on the black Corvette, and it's fly 'cause it's sitting on Dayton. My steering wheel, old leaf and a grape with me girls waiting. Green engines blooming, the chrome is shining, passing all the cars along the way. Movement of the wind, back wheels spin, popping in a cassette, push play. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I don't think so. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. Back to Cali, shaking them, taking them to spots they never before hung. The place in the stress on the sunset, it's a trip where the AC's cold and the girls still strip. The records skip, but the girl keeps dancing, prancing, grinding, grinning, romancing. I asked her to the barn so we could hit the hay. I'm gonna do this Bruce kiss, but I don't wanna pay. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I don't think so. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali, rising, surprising, it's rising, realizing her dressing me up, her bikini small, heels tall. She said she liked the ocean. She showed me a beach, gave me a peach, and pulled out the suntan lotion. Now I thought I was fast, but this girl was faster. She's looking for a real good time. Close your eyes, I got a surprise, and I ran away with a bottle of wine. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I don't think so. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I don't think so.
My God, I love that. She said, close your eyes, I got a surprise. Then I ran away with a bottle of wine. Sucker. Going back to Cali. All right. Thank you, Boo. I know it embarrassed you to death, and that's why I love it. No, I love it. It's adorable. It's an adorable song that cringes her the hell out, and I love it. You know, she's so, it really has a dang thing to it, a vibe to it that I don't think she recognizes in her embarrassment. Anyway, Connor, did you?
Now I remember why I didn't put any of my own personal demos in the studio.
Yeah, because I will pray on that as fast as I can. Because I'm going back to Razz. Connor, have you found something yet?
You always need a little bit more jazz there.
If not,
I got something. I'm about to post it online or on the website. One sec.
Cool, man. Go for it. And I got the piece. I picked a piece for you, Rack. I already posted it on the board. So that I chose Choir Boy, by the way.
Oh, that's funny. I was just thinking about that one.
No, you weren't.
No, I wasn't.
Simpatico. All right, cool, man. It's cool.
I'm going to join the Sunday Mass tomorrow before you, Rack.
Do you want to read Rack's, or do you want me to drop mine? Or
no, go.
Okay, Choir. Sorry.
No, yeah. I said you. You go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't even look at the chat. Sorry.
It's all good. No, I just put it there so that it would be there. So it was there for people that go through it whenever. Since we don't have a topic for
All right. I just posted it. This was from the vault, I guess. It's called Yale Avenue. Puddles in black asphalt make for perfect lagoons, murky water stirring, kissed with light bent from the sun, air conditioners brace the ledge, ready to jump, Marlboro in the air, Sunday morning is a holy sight, unanswered questions on bus stop benches, basketball courts with boys who have sprouted like weeds, too fly for high or too high for fly, all background music to the thumping of a ball on concrete, grandparents on rocking chair thrones, the eyes of the valley, from corner store ballets and 3 a.m. shootouts, beauty of it all, an orchestra of bodies, awakening from slumber for yet another day, and peace.
Wow, man, I like this. I thought this was an awesome, this is an awesome way to, talk about your environment, what you see at a particular avenue or just an area. There's these thoughts here of, what will be, and even its own sort of disjoint or hypocrisy of itself, and this just is what it is, and it's always been, and I like this piece a lot. I love from corner store ballets at 3 a.m. shootouts, the beauty of it all. An orchestra of bodies awakening from slumber for yet another day. The grandparents, everything about this I really liked. I like the idea of, air conditioners. What a fucking creative line. Air conditioners brace the ledge ready to jump. Marlboro in the air. It's just like these senses and sights mingling. I almost see you walking down the street and conjuring these thoughts as unanswered questions on bus stop benches. People that were maybe just in that Sunday Mass saying, why doesn't God answer my prayers, as they sit on the bus to then go maybe 5 miles back home because their fucking disrespectful grandchildren don't take them to church so they can make their Mass or whatever, right? Just,
Amen.
It takes you just to all these thoughts. What are prayers? Does a prayer matter even to the bum on the street corner that no one gives a shit about? What about this man? It's a lot of thoughts here, and I like it. I really like this piece. Rez.
Here again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad you liked it.
This deja vu multiplied. But as the choir boy, what he believes in God can only be enhanced over life through the ministry and the pastoral. And so
there was that sense of the golden dream near the ending of the verses, but one has to even see through that as well in order to achieve a state of perfect understanding with the Lord and Maker.
All right.
Choir Boy was my title, though, Razz. That's not. That's a different poem.
Right. Were you commenting on Choir Boy, Razz, or Yale Avenue?
Like multiple different things then from Konreg and Choir Boy was Rat.
Right. So you were just. I didn't know if you were on purposely like saying this was a deja vu.
He latched onto my title and gave and heard Connor and kind of superimposed the two thoughts.
I think that's exactly that's kind of what happened, which is cool. That's a cool. What did you think of Yale Avenue?
Did you ask me?
I asked you.
Totally talked over what you're saying. Sorry. I mean, I enjoyed the piece. It was very, very much. What's the word? I got the impression of sitting down and kind of just absorbing what your backdrop, but what the backdrop is, what your kind of your environment, your space. It's a very, very personal piece in that sense to me. It gives a sense of where you're coming from. It tells a story a little bit about when you hear something or when you say something that this is what it's based on. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I would agree. There's an intimacy to it, a revealing of the poet and their environment. Yeah, it's a freaking cool piece. Thank you, Connor.
Yeah, thank you guys all for the.
No, but I would give it a
really
different analysis. Taking out the Choir Boy, Konreg. So what you have here, it's very preppy. It's really in with the Yellow Avenue. I guess there's like streets all students go through in order to achieve different degrees. And one's college years or when one used to play football for a team, you don't really take any of that back as being like the happiest days of your lives.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of people would say they're like, and sadly I feel, and not to, come down on anyone, but it's a lot of them old athletes, high school, but, we're talking college here probably. A lot of those old high school athletes, probably college, now they're just regular guys, put on, 50 plus pounds, haven't really done much, and those are their glory days.
That's their bench pressing potato chips while watching football.
And that's their glory days, though, is like when I it's Al Bundy talking about when he made that fucking move. I did the play, telling his kid, I did the play that won us this game that led us to eventually be defeated in the state championship
trophy.
Right.
This all
there's
one beer.
I think there is an idea of that within this, though. You're right. There's a reflective, like, what has been and where we are in his introspection in this piece, as I think in place where, like Rack's saying, like sitting outside, maybe he's smoking the Marlboro and just looking around. I don't know, that really sticks to me, the whole Marlboro in the air. I just can't help but cling on to the images you guys painted.
It reminds you of sad things like the Marlboro Man. He might not necessarily ride a real horse. So, some form of like artificial fabrication, which is within the filter.
Well, now you're just blowing my mind. When we're talking about blowing, what? That's not a good parlay. Or
no, it's
I will say
no blows here.
Don't bring up blowing
the
like the Razz mentioned horses.
Nay, naysayers. Naysayers never look a gift horse in the mouth.
You don't want to look in the other end either.
Because the eyes have it. All right. I'm an idiot. Choir boy. Wait, do you have... No, okay. So I'm going to read this for... Or Razz, or Connor, you see it on the... Rack, who would you like to read it? Would you anyone in particular?
There's no audio for that one?
No. No, I'm looking at it. No.
No, go ahead. Whoever feels there's no gotchas in there that I can think of.
I feel like we hear me enough. So Razz, would you read Choir Boy?
Sure. Do you have the link?
I will post it again on the board just because I know that board is finicky. The boards be finicky.
All right. So, I see Choir Boy now. First was the
Right
Avenue.
on.
All right.
Electric
Choir
Avenue.
By Raconteur. Concerto of Anguish, sang in vows that ring hollow, accompanied by hell's bells. Your white dress stained crimson by the outpouring of a chest muscle that blindly swells. Loyal to a fault, you bear the weight of every betrayal. Each sunrise adds to your collection of wounds. Once unblemished skin, now a road map covered in scars that read like runes. Miraculously, you preserve, clinging to the hope of tomorrow. Refusing to drown, you draw strength from your sorrow. Never forget, you are brilliant and beautiful, not just bloodied and broken. And if you don't believe it, then you haven't heard a word that I have spoken. And peace.
I love this. This is a beautiful sentiment, thinking about in regards to their friend, who, that they're speaking on, I feel. I'm kind of like, at first I'm thinking, like, get some interesting references here that maybe I start thinking in music. I know Rack's often there in music thought.
Those bells.
And, white wedding dress, white dress, I'm thinking white wedding. Yeah, I was just in that place, but then, like, the pain that he's seen in this other person and trying to soothe the best he can. And in the end, you just, acknowledge it, give it space to be what it is, and, letting the person know that, I will, I maybe come back to the title, that I will sing for you songs of praise because you can't praise yourself. This person seems there and unable to see their goodness for what it is, and Raconteur here is trying to say, let them know he'll be their choir boy. He'll sing their praises because they need to hear it. Beautiful piece, Rack. Touches my heart, man. You always touch it. It's either a knife or a hug. It's one or the other.
That's where Boo would come in. You need a hug, Rack.
Yeah. Well, I think Rack's hugging somebody. He's giving somebody else the hug here. But yeah, those who give love and care often, can lack it for themselves. And it takes a lot of empathy to look into somebody else's life and feel for them. It's a great piece.
Thank you.
Ghana.
Yeah, Rack, this is beautiful. Like the way Adam was talking about. Yeah, you're a choir boy to your friend, man. I mean, like, wish I had friends like you, right? So, your white dress stained crimson by the outpouring of a chest muscle that blindly swells. Loyal to a fault, you bear the weight of every betrayal. It's like this, this love song to this person, right? You see all the good in them and all the good they pour out to the people around them, and when they get burned, they carry that shit like scars, and I just this is wonderful. The brevity and the imagery here. I really clung to this. I think it's really nice, man. Every part of it I just really enjoyed. And I am curious on the author's note, though, if you don't mind me asking, what does 6122 mean?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
On the author's note, it says 6122.
Oh, that was the date that I wrote it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's
I didn't
cool.
know if there was any significance. Yeah. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, no, this was killer. I really enjoyed every bit of it, man.
Thanks, man.
Razzmatazz.
Yeah, this is one of those pieces that reminds me of kind of trying to bring the youth into a sense of being stable again. There's that terrible letdown when you're in your late stages of being a teenager, and you just need someone older to guide you from whatever it was that seemed to be, an obstacle that cannot be overcome until you're meeting all of life's challenges again.
And thanks, Raz.
All right. Yeah, guidance is, let it be, for that or whatever it may be, is always, I think, a welcome and needed thing. Let us be blindly burrowing and putting our feet in our mouth over and over relentlessly, or it might be a fetish of mine. I don't know. But hard to tell sometimes.
You got to remember, women don't kiss you when your mouth tastes like foot. So.
Wait, yeah. But it could taste like their foot lotion. Oh,
that's true.
Anyway,
at that point, they're drinking foot lotion.
Raz, what do you think of foot lotions? Do you have a piece you'd like to read for us? Off script?
No, I don't have anything particular there. I remember Andy Warhol made a film in the 60s that was just feet.
Oh, God.
He had a quote that said something to the degree of, art is anything you can get away with.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but so is a con job,
Yeah. Well, if it works, it works. Look at this person eat a hamburger for an hour. If you're going to call it art, shame on you. He's either a genius or he was just crazy on drugs. So probably both.
No, he was being literal because Andy Warhol perfected the idea that commercialization is art when you have it to its most extremist or perfected form. So he meant every word he said, I would believe.
Right. So do you have a piece, Raz?
Yeah, I have a second piece for the night.
A sexual piece?
Go grab my diary here for a second.
So
all right.
Someone needs to pick up. There's someone on the phone, by the way.
Yeah, that would be Boo, of all people. Wow, Boo showed up. Boo!
Just in time for the dirty sex.
I'm always in time for the dirty.
Say it.
Hello.
Say the S word. It's not bad. Suddenly she's like this good Catholic girl. I can't say sex.
So lying.
Mm-hmm. It's a sin.
Mm-hmm. So Raz, bring us your most sexualized piece, please. No, whatever you want to read.
Yeah, really, do it, Raz. I want to hear.
Do it.
Do it.
I don't focus on that.
Hi, Konreg. Hi, Raz. Hi, Raz.
What's up, Boo?
Hey. Is it all fellas tonight? Oh, lucky me.
Yeah, it's boys.
Konreg, Rax here.
Racky poo. Okay. Cool. I'm going to shut up so you can read.
Razz is going to read.
Yeah, Razz is going to read his raunchy stuff.
He said he does not care for that. He has no sexualized, overtly sexual pieces.
Don't let Razz fool you.
I know. Don't let him fool me.
All right. So here's this piece. It's called Sleep Talking. Yeah, I'll read this piece called Sleep Talking. Here it goes. Sleep Talking and go, 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 go. Flirtatious talk. The phone cyber distancing. Operable. The mind to potency, hopeless stow potency. Consensual, readable. Permit the random chance of the laws of nature. The easier trajectory of magnetic forces intercourse. Or convert that posterior-supine act of divination. This one exact second could have been heard 10 minutes ago. Turn on, heartful, bosom, firmly throbbing. What would hit the spot of succumbus, the desire, thirst of, and temperatures? What was the dry stone filled with the meditative Karma Sutra receptacle? Sleep-talking ideas, the senses judgment, evaluation, recall deviously, heavier ambrosio, the adamant sediment coming over the moisty springtime residue. This 15 seconds later was the clown parade attending the ladies' precise footing. This one exact half minute is the body's recline to decline, protraction, sleep-talking, role-playing fantasies, cardiac heat perspiring, the romantic wooden ember kindle. We should focus on each other's breathing. I wait asked to go away to hear underneath the skin the pulse bomb of all the web pages leading. It doesn't have to be this way, unable to touch, but the notions arouse, heart beating. Coo on when the morning thrushes, the twilight thundering hush dove. And peace.
I felt the pulse of your beat. There's a line in there.
Like the throbbing of
the end. Dang, I can't. If you didn't post, there's the link.
I put it on the board. The link.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep talking? I thought it was sweet talking.
No, sleep talking. That's a cute title. Yeah, I can comment since you haven't read it yet. I mean, I kept saying you late, but I love the title Sleep Talking. I mean, it's cute, talking a goo-goo gaga flirtatious talk on the phone, cyber distancing, which we're all used to doing. And, the whole thing is worded so well. Magnetic forces, intercourse, the converse, the posterior supine acts to divination. Like, whoa. I mean, that one exact second could have been her 10 minutes ago. I just, and then there's the throbbing, turned on heart, blossom throbbing. I mean, when someone's voice can make you excited and comforted and everything else, that's good stuff right there. And I like we say we should focus on each other's breathing. You want to hear. So when you're that close with somebody, their breath does it for you, their breathing does it for you, their voice does it for you. That's pretty intimate, pretty special. And I think it's pretty romantic, Razz. Great job.
Thanks, Boo.
Welcome. I love when you write love poetry. I understand the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not really into love poetry, Boo. I've explained this to you multiple times. It's just randomly appears within my...
Don't ruin the moment, Razz.
He's got to, because otherwise, I don't know. It was great, though. I love that you guys have that rapport of, give me love poetry. I don't like writing love shit, but I'll do it. God damn it.
Yeah. What did you think, Konreg?
I think I'm also in your camp, Boo. Like I do, Razz. I know you don't like love poetry, but I'm a fan of yours.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, no, I think the imagery here is really nice, and I do love the way that it almost feels like you and the other person are, you're kind of throwing yourselves into one another, right? You're so into everything that they exude. I mean, even at the end, it's like we should focus on each other's breathing, right? So little things like that, I think, speak volumes. And I was able to, I do enjoy reading it because I was able to follow it a little bit better. But sometimes I do struggle with reading some stuff, but this one I really enjoyed. So thanks for sharing. I really liked it.
Thanks, Konrad.
Yeah, I really enjoy this too. And there was a few lines that did stick out to me, and I was trying to remember that I have no hope when not having it before me. Thank you, Boo. I liked what she had pointed on, the trajectory of magnetic forces intercourse or converse. I thought that was an interesting rhyme, internally rhyme, like a rhyme thing going on there. The intercourse or converse. They have a way of marrying. And it's the idea that the direction is a pull. There's a pull there that's going the same direction.
No, he didn't say nothing about getting married, though.
What?
He didn't say nothing about getting married.
No, and in the end, right.
Probably won't.
Just 1 sec.
I'm on board. I'm on board. No hope and no care. So I like the idea of focus on breathing. There's just a ton of little.
Yeah, I'm still playing Zachariah on that. What to do with my time? Like I said on the blog.
No, that's a little thing that's intimate, very intimate. When it is.
It is intimate. This is a very intimate piece. I like. I like it. Sleep talking and goo goo gaga flirtatious talk. But it's all a distraction. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like that's what he's saying in the end. It's in my ear.
It's harmless, like in office types of flirtatious relationships, but what's derived after this kind of act of sex seems to not be what Rack was thinking, a more coercive form of relationship. So, what you have is
Adam
kind of voyeurism.
Voyeurism
would be the right word.
When Adam was commenting, he said you married two thoughts, and I said you didn't say anything about marriage. I was teasing his comment. I was making fun of his comment, not your poem, dude. The poem was great. It really was. I can't talk to you on the phone anymore after hearing it, but I liked it. The idea behind it, there is a certain intimacy that you can get on the phone as opposed to talking to someone in person. That when you're close to someone, that you can bring out, that you touched on, and specifically, the breathing that you mentioned struck me because that's kind of, you can't get much more intimate than that. When it's beyond words, it's a physical thing that if you could share it with someone without I shouldn't even say without, because sometimes even when you giggle when that happens, it still works. But that idea of letting your guard down when you're speaking to someone, and just enjoying the moment and being you, it's a beautiful thing if you can do it, and it's not easy to do either. So it's a gift when someone lets it happen. It really is.
It's kind of like you're on the phone and it's like hours, but it feels like minutes, and you're like, oh my God, we've been talking for 4 hours. I can't even believe it. And then, that kind of bliss, sort of comfortableness, I guess.
Especially talk about focusing on each other's breathing. It's like when you're on the phone with someone and it's like that silence that's like still comfortable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. Women love it.
Hey, even Prince thinks about it. It's all I heard.
That's when you're like, are you touching yourself? No, I'm kidding.
I can hear you breathing, you creep.
Hey, Boo, what are you wearing?
Gotta put it away. Oh, shit. That's funny. Yeah, no, this is a good poem. I thought,
Boo, you want to bring us some? You want to bring us something sexy?
Oh,
this is the wave we're gonna ride.
Yes, you showed up.
I'll just call back my answering machine.
Going down. Yeah.
We're nearing the end of this ride.
And just so you know, he called you out and he played Going Back to Cali.
Oh man. Again, Lord. Okay.
I will play that every show I impromptu on till I die.
Oh my gosh, it's embarrassing. Yeah, I just wrote one yesterday for the slutty room over in the other you know where.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know where and the who know what. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dungeon.
I think this
dungeon poetry.
Where's the slutty room?
Yeah,
Clubhouse. Yeah.
Clubhouse media.
The slutty room. I like
plenty
that.
Of room.
I like that.
To really beat
Connor, Connor, while we're going to hear Boo's dirty piece, I hope you're looking up your next piece, which could hopefully be dirty, please.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
I will pressure
now I can't the dirty.
Everyone to give me the dirty, naughty bits.
Shoot, now I'm looking. Oh, man. I can't. I don't know what I put it under.
Under.
Oh. Maybe I did leave it over here. I might have left it here. Let me see. Sorry, shit. I might have left it here.
Finding the dirt. Where is it under? Underwear.
Under the naughty parts.
It's under the naughty parts. Well, you're really trying to stash it then, ain't you? Where are you smuggling your piece to?
Smuggling my piece to. Sorry. I think I'll just read this one. I don't know if I can find the other one. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, maybe it is. No, that's definitely not it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll just read this one. But this isn't the one I was going to read, but I don't know where it is. So anyway, it goes like this. Okay. A kiss and in my eyes you wrap in cloth, my hands above my head in soft repose. You touch my face with fingers oh so soft and cut my chest with nails as passion grows. Each sense you raise slowly to heighten unknown. With ice and fire you sear my aching skin. Intense delight marked by unsubtle groans, you draw such lust from somewhere deep within. Play me in tune, the art, pleasure and pain. I'm bound and blind beneath your hands and will, until my throat bursts forth with your name, until this aching dark within me fill. Wrap my eyes and lead me in a dream with touch, a light, delight me till I scream. And so,
ooh, that was a strong ending. I like the conjure and guide this dreamscape of pleasure that you're guiding me through. I love that the senses are all created through an amorphous idea that is being played on by the other party for you, that it's all without your knowledge, it's all just happening without the evident truth of what it is there. I like that your partner is bringing it all to life. You know, you're blind and all these things going on. Is basically they're the ones creating the pleasure, not only in the physical act, but in the mental, in the mind as well. You know, simultaneously it's happening in unit, like together. Kind of coming back to the idea of play you like an instrument in tune. You know, it's like a body is a physical thing, but the music is something more. The music is what happens when you play the body. It's an ethereal level beyond the physical, and you're making the sexual act that, which I think is brilliant. I love that you do that, as a musician, fellow musician. I feel what you're saying there when it comes to that. When it comes to that. Good piece, Boo. Very sexy. End comment. Razz.
Yeah, it seems she was really in throes of the act. I think this explains human passion, and it rids itself of those elements that it's strictly carnal instead of a form of biological or even psychological and spiritual fulfillment.
Right. It does raise it to a level of like that, sure. Rec.
Adam?
Yes.
Yes?
What did you think? Yes? Just yes, give me more, huh?
Well, you told her nice ending. You should have said nice climax. But other than that, that's commenting on your comment, not her poem.
He's supposed to give me shit tonight. Yeah. Heart shoots.
You're just a regular dung beetle.
I know. I wish I was a longhorn dung beetle. I'm just a short-horn dung beetle. Kana.
I mean, obviously, of course, nice climax to this piece. But yeah, no, I think there's really something here, especially when she's especially relating it to music. It's just like how the physical touch, can brings out the right notes in people. She talks at the end about being blindfolded and it's touched in the ecstasy, and it's like, okay, you take away a sense, so it's just you and the other person, and they play your body, right? So it's a beautiful thing.
Right. Raz, I think Boo had dropped. She needs to be allowed back unmuted. I think she's back on the line.
Yeah. Boo's right here.
She was gagged, not muted.
Yeah, she was gagged. Well, more pricks in the room.
Yes, thank you for the comments. I appreciate it. You're probably thinking, why didn't you say anything? I pushed the wrong button. But are you good? Oh my God, these fuckers don't leave me alone. Shut up. Are you? When did you just start, or when's the show over?
It's coming to a close or climax.
Oh, it is. Okay.
There you go.
I don't know if I could read another one, but I wrote another one today.
What are you trying to do?
Give her the second shot.
She wants to know. She wants you to tell her where to get off.
No, I just want to get your opinion, because I don't know if it's supposed to be, like
round two, Adam.
We got time.
It's supposed to be like musical, sort of like, but not.
You're seriously asking four guys if you want us to talk dirty to you? If we want you to talk dirty to us?
I finally hit my I got my in the right room because the prompt was a musical instrument, so I said, okay, but I don't know if it's like, it's going to sound a lot like a familiar song, maybe, but anyway, I don't know if I just wrote it, so I maybe have to edit it 5,000 times, but anyway, it goes like this. I don't know if you like it, but tell me. Mr. Piano Man, how your fingers rain down on the keys, dancing a somber ballet, capturing the feeling of being empty, like those bottles underneath. Here, Mr. Piano Man, the next drink is on me, while we sift through debris of our melancholy. Every note stings, every chord bleeds. Woe is you and woe is me. Play, Mr. Piano Man, a song or a plea. Oh no, a song of our plea. Let it rain, Mr. Piano Man. Let the storm hammer the strings. Let's swim in the puddle of what's split underneath. Oh, Mr. Piano Man, what is that I hear? The note that was just hit. It sounded rather queer. There is no room for happiness at the bottom of this beer. No, Mr. Piano Man, I don't want the sun. Go back to stormy waters, to where you begun. I thought you were a friend. I thought you were allies. I thought we'd understood the sound of our demise. Mr. Piano Man, how you betrayed with your songs of love and spring. Every note my heart aches, every chord a bee sting. Mr. Piano Man, this is my goodbye. I'm leaving you now. Please don't cry. I am going to my new friend, Mr. Bartender. How do you do? Give me an endless bottle and another drunk to talk to. So stupid.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that.
You did?
That's an awesome piece.
You're dumping the piano, dude, for the bartender. Absolutely.
I think
the piano, the keys his fingers let you down.
Yeah. Sounded better in my head, but.
In your head.
I don't like the word queer. I never use that word. I gotta fix.
I think it works. You know, a queer note. You could say a sour or dissonant note, but I think queer works it helps your rhyme and it works. I understand it in its context. I like to use that word myself personally. I don't care. You know, it's a wrong note. They hit a note that's just not quite right, but it blends into the song. But it was stark enough that it caught your senses, jarring you in your reality. You know, I love your piece. It's very wonderful. I think you're directly speaking to like a composer. I don't know if it's really Billy Joel you're talking to, but I think you're talking to somebody that knows you in and out, upside down, backwards, and they're no longer giving you what you need, and so therefore you're going where you'll get the dumbed down version of it.
Yeah.
And it's not music, but at least it fills the hole.
Oh. Yeah. Alcohol, your liquid friend, right?
I feel like I know exactly who you're talking about and what this is about, but I'm not gonna go there specifically. I don't know. I'll talk to you maybe later and ask you on the side if it is what I think it is. But
about Jack Daniels.
Jim and Jose.
Jim Beam.
3 J's.
Yeah. Thanks.
3 J's. I loved it though. I loved the stylization of it. It was brilliant. I don't want to dive too much. We got a few minutes left, and I don't want to take up all the time. Razz.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's all about life preference. You have 60 million people in America who like drinking